Hi, everyone. It's Veronica, and welcome to episode 7 of Heartfelt Creations Collab with Poetspice. This is a year-long collab, and we are using any Heartfelt Creations products that we have. It could be the papers, the stamps, the dies, whatever you have to create projects with. I post on the 30th of each month, so make sure that you return on the 30th to see what I have created. So let's jump in today and let me share with you what I created for this episode. These are some of the products that I used. This is some gemstones from Hobby Lobby, the Paper Studio. These are some of the prills from Heartfelt Creations. I use this pigment ink, White Daisy from Close to My Heart. Some Versamark ink. I used a red Wink of Stella marker, my Zig Glue two-way pen, and my adhesive of choice these days is the Art Glitter Glue. Love, love, love it. I also used some Recollections Gold embossing powder. And this is Elizabeth Craft's Cool Diamond Fine Glitter. I used some of these stamens, so you see where I'm going at this point. My 3D Floral Basics Shaping Mold. I used the Classic Rose Stamp and Die Set. The Sparkling Poinsettia Stamp and Die Set. And the Flowering Dogwood Stamp and Die Set. And I think its die is under something. Okay, so what I created today were some flowers. I decided to play with my new toys that I got from Expo, which were the stamps and dies that I just showed you. And I played around a little bit and created some flowers. This was the very first poinsettia that I did. I used some of that shimmer paper from Joann's, which was really pretty. And this is where I used the embossing powder, the gold embossing powder, and the prills. This came out okay. I think the problem here is that I had too many layers. So it looks more like a star than a poinsettia, but other than that, I like it. All right, and this one I was going to leave in white, and I started trying to just do the edges with the Wink of Stella, and you can see all the shimmer. But it wasn't coming out quite right, so I decided just to color all of the petals with the marker, with the Wink of Stella. And I think it turned out really cute, and this is where I used the stamens. This one, I used vellum, and this turned out so, so pretty. I added some of the glitter to give it some shimmer, and this is that White Daisy ink, and because it was that pigment based, it took a minute to dry, but you just move on to something else while waiting for it to dry. But I think it turned out so pretty. Beautiful. I think this is probably my favorite of the three. And you don't have to do a lot of shaping because it is the vellum. But it just speaks for itself. And love all the detail in the petals that die, that the stamp set gives you when you stamp it out. So it is really, really pretty. I also played with the Classic Rose, which I think looks so realistic. Gorgeous. And the inks that I used to stamp these out were Memento inks. This one is Rosebud. Really pretty. And what I did with the leaf, I cut it apart so to keep that blank space from showing on the back, because I don't know what I'm using the rose for right this second. I put that circle on the back to cover that part up. but it is gorgeous. And I added just a little shimmer on this also. Beautiful. And this one was really easy to do as well. The mold makes it very easy, but even without the mold, this was an easy flower to shape. And then this die I have been looking at for a while, this Stamp and Die set, the dogwood. Absolutely love how this turned out. Now, this really looks realistic to me. And I can't think of the name of the ink. It was Angel something on the ink. I can't remember what it is, but look how that is. And the dogwood is such a delicate flower. Absolutely beautiful. There is a legend that goes along with this flower. And of course, with legends, they change as time goes on. Pieces are added in, pieces are taken away. But basically, back in the day, the dogwood was a mighty tree, just like the oak tree. It was a really big, gorgeous tree. And this was during the time that Jesus was going to be crucified. So the dogwood was the tree that was chosen to make the cross with. That made the dogwoods very sad, and Jesus, being the man that he was, sensed that sadness and promised the dogwood that it would never, ever be used to build anything again. So when you look at a dogwood tree now, you see how small the limbs are. So he made it very narrow limbs, and that's how the tree grows. And also with the flower, it has significance with the crucifixion in that there are 4 petals on the flower, and that symbolizes the cross. Then you have the stamen here, that symbolizes the crown of thorns. The indentions that you see in each petal, that symbolizes the nails that were used to nail his feet and his hands. And then here, the darker ink, that symbolizes his blood. So it's a beautiful story when you think about the significance of everything that surrounds Jesus and the crucifixion. Beautiful story. But I love the flowers, and I will certainly be making more of these. I did run that through the mold also. And the leaves, it has the leaves attached to it. It, you know, is a separate Stamp and Die. And then I made some smaller ones. They are so pretty. It is such a delicate flower, very delicate. And they always bloom around Easter. Always, 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 always. They bloom around Easter. So I just added some seed beads in this one instead of doing the little stamen that comes with it. But I thought all of these turned out really, really pretty for my first attempt. And I will certainly be making more of these. Thank you all so much for stopping by. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. I appreciate it. And if you are not a subscriber, you can easily become one by just hitting that subscribe button. And hit the bell also so that you will never miss an upload that I do. Thank you all again for stopping by. Happy crafting.